Howdy folks, it is me, QFW, with Artisan of Glimmith again. I feel like bejeweling a window today, and I'm going to bejewel the boxy window, which doesn't have too much to go. You only have 8 puzzles. I've kind of noticed that the biggest sort of slog to an upgrade is the silver to gold. I say slog, that's a horrible word to say because it makes it sound like it's the worst thing ever. But that's usually the biggest jump in number of puzzles, whereas bejeweling is not as many. So I think I can get 8 puzzles done in one video. But if they're too hard for me, little old baby me, then I will have to come back later. It looks like we got 5s and 6s to deal with, so let's start with that. Oh, there's a 4 here. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this 4. Boxy area number, Gemini Delta. Great. So let's start with just getting this stuff out of the way. So I know this can't be a single, that's for sure. Let's see what else we got. So our dominoes are going to be here. That's the only thing we can make with the 2. 4s have a few options here. 4s can be 2 by 2 or 1 by 4. Do we have any other... Yeah, we don't have... So I could do this here, right? I can do this, and I can have 2 1s next to each other or 2 2s next to each other. That's totally fine. Just wanted to make sure. So these 4s don't have restrictions on them quite yet. This 6, I believe, is going to be immediately restricted, right? No, I can do this. It doesn't say I can't do that. But I can also make this. So regardless, this 6 has to take these 3 cells. It can take those 3, or it can become one long boy. Can this 6... Yes, 6 can come up. This won't work, actually. This 6 can't be a straight line going up, because then we can't put a... We'd have to put one here and there. And that, my friends, is illegal. So we're going to move... This is got to come over here. So either this is all one big 6 going over, or we have 2 6s like so. This is fun. This actually is totally fine. But I don't know for sure that that's what we're doing. This 4 has to be a straight line. Hold on, this here. Well, this can't be a 6. That's easy enough to do. This 6 can't go all the way, so it has to go up and down at some point. It can't... Oh, this 6 can't be a straight line anyway. This 6 has to be a 2 by 3, so it has to go this way at least. So it could be up here. No, it can't. Yeah, it can't be up here. So this 6 is... here? No. This 6 is set. Okay, well then, in that case, the 6s are all done. This 4 then is a straight line going up and down. This can't be a 2, so it has to be a 1. There's really nothing else it can be. This 4 now has to take this spot. There's no way it doesn't, because then what do we do with that? So it's got to take that. It could be a 2 by 2. It can easily be a 2 by 2. Because we can put 4s all in that spot. If I didn't do that, what would I put here? What would I put here? If this 4 is a 1 by 4 like this 4 has to be a 2 by 2, which is going to put 2 by 2s in all of these spaces. So yeah, I have to actually just do this. So now here can't be a 1, so it's got to be a 2. So what that can do, and then we just have 1s. What am I missing? Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, that's kind of fun. It felt actually easier than a 4 to me, but that's okay. It didn't feel so much easier that I felt disappointed with it. This is your introduction once again to me griping about the puzzle difficulties in this game. Sorry, I'm just going to do that every time. I also feel pretty good that I feel like I have a way to express the parts of this game that really piss me off, even though, you know, it's still puzzles and I like playing puzzles. Anything else? It looks like we're at just 5s, so let's take care of the 5s. It's nice to have the language to express instead of just vague, just grumbling of, you know, not understanding why it is I'm not enjoying what I think I should enjoy. So this, let's just get it all set up here. I don't need to even count everything because Solitude tells me every space has to be taken, so I know that much. And they have to be taken by other things. Let's get these 5s, and then the 6 we're going to just do regular all blue. So, do I know anything else? I'm just trying to think, is there like an obvious... Well, obviously you got to stick something there. These 10s can't be in the same unit because Solitude, which means getting to this space around the center looks like it's got to be with... Well, this 6 could reach, but it looks like it's pretty much just got to be with these 10s. But that's not guaranteed. There's lots of things that can reach all these spots. Maybe this 3 is something we can work with. Not really. I was thinking this 3 is very limited because it can't go very far. But if I think of what goes into this corner, I have 2 other pieces that can go into that corner without any restriction whatsoever. This 5 can't quite reach. So yeah, it's not that one. This 3 can't reach. So it's the 4 can get in there without any trouble. The 6 can get in there without any trouble. This corner is reachable by everyone in the world. Same here. Here. Looking for corners that are like really restricted. Well, is there any way that we have something that isn't a 10 in these spots? Right? Because if I brought the 6 over, well, this 6 can't reach. This spot right here, I think, is only reachable by a 10. Yeah, this spot is not reachable by anything else, so that is 10, but I don't know which one it is. It could be any of these. This spot is also only reachable by 10, and that, and that. I know these. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These ones are reachable by 6. This one is reachable by 6. If I did reach this by 6, what would I end up doing here? I mean, I have a couple ways with the 6 to get here, so I can't, but like, I'm just trying to say, like, if I brought this over, it is going to cut off the 10 in some form. It's going to require it to go one of these 2 directions. Let's get this back to a darker blue so it's more distinguished. Don't know what that does. I mean, it's certainly, this 10 would probably have to come out through here. It wouldn't, actually. I could fill in like this, and this 4 could fill in, this 3 could fill in. So that doesn't even restrict things in this hypothetical. This 6 can't reach there, but it can reach there. This is a tricky one because it really looks like it's open. And I don't see the first move. This is the only 3. Is there some mathematical principle going on here? What I can do with this is if I reset and I just say there's 112 pieces, that doesn't really tell me anything. And I know that this is going to add up to 112 because of solitude. Every single spot needs to be in a region, and every region needs to take only 1 spot. Oh, hold on. How stupid am I? Like, you're looking at this like going like, you Dumbo. Dear Key of W, you should go back to playing with alphabet blocks and Barbie dolls because you... I don't know why Barbie dolls is included in that, but... I forgot about boxy, which means this is a straight line. These are all straight lines or big boxes. So actually, this 6 can't go to any of these spots here. These are taken by 10s. The 5's got to be a straight line. Yeah, I think the odd numbers are straight lines. Now, I have a lot of options for these straight lines. Can this 6 can't go straight up and down. So I know that if it can be a straight line going this way, or it can be like a 2x3, which means I can't put a wall here. So this 6 is going to come over. That tells me that much. I could put a wall here, though. I can get one of these going on just fine. I can put a wall here just fine. I can put a wall here or here. Yeah, that's all I got at the 6. This 6 can't be a straight up and down, so it has to move out at least once, because it can take these, or it can just go straight out. Great. Cool. This 4, do we got anything else? This 4. Now with the 10s, they can't be straight lines. They've got to be boxes of some kind. It's got to be 2x5. That's really all we can do. And in fact, is it going to be like spirally things? Like, oh, it can't be that one. Like this sort of thing, right? See what I'm getting at here? Like that might actually be the way to do it, because they have to be 2x5 spaces. So let's actually look at what this can be if it's 2x5. So we can go straight up and down. We can fit this in here. It won't fit this way, so that's actually not going to happen. So the 2 can't be just this way. It has to be. It has to be like this. It has to take And it can't be like this because now this 10 doesn't fit. So actually this 10 is restricted. This puzzle would have been a lot easier if I wasn't so dumb. I don't actually feel that dumb. I'm just joking this time around. I like to joke a lot about how stupid I am, but sometimes when I say I feel stupid, I literally feel stupid. I feel like the game is mocking me. This time it isn't. This is just, I just didn't think about this rule. I was thinking about this rule instead. I think this is the only way to make 10 happen. 3's got to go there. The 6 now, it can still be a straight line. In fact, it has to be a straight line. Who goes there? If 4 goes there, the 6 is it's completable actually. Dang it! I thought I couldn't reach there, but I can. Or sorry, with these corners, like I can do this, and then see how all that goes. That goes just fine. But I can also do it with this. Nah, I can't. That doesn't work. Nope. I thought I could have both of those work. This it actually is just going to be this. Just going to be this guy right here. I guess at this point the puzzle just kind of solves itself. Huh, I guess that's what I was supposed to do, is figure out how these rules interplayed together. That was weird, because like I was struggling at the beginning of it because I was focusing way too hard on the solitude element and not enough on the boxy element. But as soon as I put these two together, then it just kind of fell into place really easily, and so I'm now suspicious that I cheated. Whatever. That ended up just not being the most fun thing, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that puzzle. Boxy mingle shape. All right. Well, okay, we know our dominoes are going to be dominoes. We know this is going to be a straight line, this triomino. With our 4s here, we can only make them I shapes or O shapes. That's all we can really do. And I have to make sure that I don't include... I see, for instance, if I made this an I shape going to the right, this would break the puzzle. The reason is we can't have an I shape here now, but it's got to be boxy, so it's got to be an O shape. But now what goes there? Because there's only 2 possible shapes that are boxy and 4, and I'm touching both of them. So I can't do that. Now, if this were to go straight down, we'd have this shape, which is possible. We're quite restricted. Let's see if this one breaks things. Yes. No. Yes. Yes, this doesn't work. We would need to have this be I. We need both of these to be I's. Well, this can't go to the right, so it would become an I shape like this. So far, so good, right? So far, this is fine. Problem comes right here because we need an O shape here. Now, what do we put here? We have to put an I shape. It's not going to fit. So I believe from that, we can determine that this is an I shape moving down. We have this go on. We have to have these two be I shapes. This one can't move to the right or left, so it's got to move this way. We got to have an O shape here. This can't move down because it's touching the other one. So this is where we are here. We got to move this up and down now. This guy cannot be a straight line in any direction, so it's got to have at least 2 by 2. Which means if this is 2 by 2, we're going to have the same shape. So I think we have to have 3 by 1 and then a 1 by 6 here. And then a 3 by 1 there. Or 3 by 2, excuse me. This way. This way wouldn't work. This way wouldn't work. I don't think this way works either. This way doesn't work either. I might have the 6s wrong. Is there any other way to do those 6s? Because this can't be straight lines, so it's gotta take those, which means this is different. Let's think about this. I gotta move this over so I can make some solo pieces right there. If I did this, we'd be in trouble. Yeah, I think if I did this here, I would need this to be a 6. The 6 can only be a 2 by 3 or a 1 by 6. This can't be a 1 by 6, so we have to do this. We have to put this down here. This has to be a 2 by 3. This right here is fine, but now this 4 is a problem. This can't be a 1, because now this can't be a 1 or a 2. and we can't bring that down. So that would be a problem because it's got to be boxy. So this has to be a 2, and then we do a 3. Yes. There it is. You do a 3 right here, and then you can have a couple 1s. That's it. That's a clever one. I think that's a really clever one. I just got stuck in this area because I just didn't think about putting a 2 down here, I think. I forget exactly what I did over here, but something was over here that I was visually just thinking of something else and ended up going down the wrong path. But I'll give that one full marks. I mean, we got 5 left. I only see 4. That's not a boxy puzzle. That belongs to this area. Looking for the things. Let's take care of this fiber. It's a big one, but it is a fiber. All regions rectangular and mismatch. Well, the game is already telling us we can't have any solos because this is the solo piece right here. So this piece has to come out at least that far. And boxy means this piece has to come out. Alright, this piece has to be the domino. There's nothing we can do about it. This piece right here has to be the triomino. So now, this piece has to be a 2x2. And the reason is we can't have a solo. We can't just have a domino. Like if I put a wall here, we have a domino. If I put a wall here, we have a domino. So we've got to do that. We can't do anything more, which means this is now tetromino in I shape. Here's got to be 5. There's nothing else you can do but that. So what do we got going on in here? We got to figure out the rest. So I think this puzzle starts us off here, so it removes certain possibilities from us. So we can't take 1 by 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and then we can't have 2 by 2. Every piece has to be more than that. If we have a 1 by something piece, it has to be at least 6. So we can't put a wall here because we'll end up with a 1 by 4 or less, which means I believe this piece got it crossed, and we can't do the same here. So we've got to take these. They could be separate pieces, right? We could put walls here and then have something going on. Can't put a wall here though, because then we have a 1 by 5 or less, and we already have those taken care of. So this is a new piece. This does not belong here. So this can only move so far. This is the same deal. We do this. This could all be one piece, but there's no guarantees. This actually could be a wall because we can have 1 by 6, but we can't have a wall here. So we definitely have these go. These could all be one piece, but we don't know. We can't do this or that. Yeah, I don't think we can do this. If I put a wall here, this piece isn't being used. This is 1 by 7, right? It's fine. But now what do we put here? We can't put a 1 by 7. And we can't put a 5, so we'd have to put a wall here or any higher would create some issues with that. So we would have to make this a 1 by 6, but then we'd have a 1 by 1. So like this doesn't work. So I have to make that happen, which means this can only go over so far. This spot can't have a wall there. Can I have a wall here? This would be really restrictive. If I put a wall here, this piece can't go there. This definitely, right? Because of the boxy rule. We can't have a wall here, or can't have a non-wall here. So if I put a wall here, we'd be in trouble. So this actually has to move all the way over. This also is here. Feels pretty safe to make this one shape, but I don't know for sure. Actually, if it wasn't one shape, what would I do? I can't put walls in any of these spots, right? Because now it's only 3 across. We already have that. So I have to do this. And I have to bring this one up. But if I do put a wall here, I have 2 of the same shape. So these are, in fact, all one shape. This is an interesting little piece here. It feels like this has to be a solo piece, right? I gotta make a solo 1 by 6. The reason is, if I bring this up at all, I create a problem in here because it created 2 by 2. So I have to bring this out, which means this is unique. This is unique. This is unique. And then this will also just be unique, right? Yeah, I will. That's a really cool one. Feels a little easier than 5, but I like it. It's kind of hard to tell with those middle difficulty ones, which is another reason why I think you just should not post your difficulty numbers here. All right, let's take care of the walls. I'm trying to draw a wall. Thank you. There is a tool specifically for drawing walls, but I just find it not... I don't know. Maybe there's people out there that find these tools useful where it's only drawing the coloring, only drawing the borders. I find there's no reason to really ever use these, even though it's easier to draw borders when you don't accidentally paint stuff. It just seems like it's extra things that don't do anything. I really only need this one and that one. These two are, I don't know. This one is sound off in the comments that I don't really read a lot. My apologies. I read some of them, but sometimes I just don't. Sound off in the comments whether these two are used all the time, if you use them. Because I don't. Okay, we know boxy stuff, but how do I get... This is somewhat restricted. No, it's going to be a... Yeah, it's going to be a 2x3 in some capacity, because that's the only way it can reach one of these. Can't be 3x3 because it'll get all of them. And it can't be 4 in any direction. So it's got to be at least these pieces. Now here, this one acts, this one can just go down that way. This has the same restriction. The same restriction is on this circle piece here. And this one, I believe, is also the same restriction. This is the only one that's got a different... We can make this piece, or we can make that piece. And it can go further than that. So these two are required, but nothing else. Let's see. What else can we bring to the table here? This square now... No, it could just take that. And this, right? Or it could come down here. Let's see. Yeah, I've got these corners, but what else can I get? This piece seems particularly important. So right here, this square can only reach one circle. There's no way for it to reach any other circle. To reach this circle, it would have to go through this square, which is pretty obvious no-no. To reach that circle, it would reach this one as well because it's to be a boxy shape. So it is, in fact, touching this circle, which means this is set here. Now this has to be a new piece. This one is going to have to touch this place. And now who's going to touch this square? It can't be the purple because it's not boxy. So the orange is going to have to go in. Do we bring this up? We don't know. Ah, and now this piece right here. All right. Let's make it blue again. This square can only touch that circle. Right? It can touch this circle, but that would go through this one on the way. So yeah, it has to go here, which means these aren't part of the same unit. And now what circle can we touch with this one? Right? Can't touch that one because we'll go through that square. Has to be this one. Hope I'm getting all this right, because it is quite possible to get this wrong and then just feel like an idiot. Let's do this here. This is the only circle that is now within range, so we have to take this. This square can still touch that circle, so we're not forced to take this here. This square can touch it. Oh, this one now has to... Right? We're now stuck going that way. So how do I fill all of these spaces in the center here? Who's going to take that space? Can't be either of those two pieces because this wall prevents them. Can't be the purple one. So it is this purple one. So this is complete here. This space has to be taken by purple. And that's as far as purple can go. So this takes that space. Oh, well now this piece here has to take that circle. Right? Because there's no other circle it can reach. Which means this square has to take that. It's got to go all the way down. This square now has to take that circle. There's no other one it can take. So it's going to be a nice thing here. Could go here, or this could come up, we're not sure. Well, actually, what's going to take this spot right here? Right there. Can't be this blue, because it would bend the corner. The purple here would end up being non-boxy, so it is the orange that takes it. This purple goes in there. So what takes this spot now? It's got to be you. These two spots, I believe, have to be just filled like so. This square now takes that. Don't see any other way to do this. This... Well, right here. Good old circle right here. It can't touch these squares because it goes through that box. Can't touch that square, it goes through that one. So it's got to be this one, which means we have that. This spot here, I can't have a wall here, right? Because then I'd have a piece, right? Here, let me make this orange for a second. If I put a wall here, this would be a single, and then we wouldn't have anything going on. And also, I gotta do that. So this has to move down. And then I can only touch this one. So what's this space going to be? It's got to be part of this unit. We've got to have a straight line here and a straight line there because we can't have a 2x2. So straight line here, straight line there. So far, so good. I just don't know if I'm going to do anything else. I'm going to have to bring this up because if I don't, then I have a single piece here. So that goes up and this goes over. And I just think I just see it now. I think I just see the answer, which is great. That's great. I think that one's really good. I think that's just a nice, like, I mean, once you find kind of where to start, you can just kind of push through it. It feels really good. It just feels really good as a puzzle. And it feels like 5 is a good spot for that one. There's 2 more? 3 more. Where's the third one? Wait, hold on. Oh, this one's not done? Oh, that's a really faint... No, that one's done. Oh, it's under. Oh, I see. I see. Oh, it's even an easy one. Okay. I don't know what the deal is with hiding these easy ones, because then I just end up not doing some easy puzzles. All right, we'll just start with this. Doesn't really matter. It's not a huge complaint. So... I mean, I don't have to bring this down. I only have boxy and area number. I can do whatever I like with that. I change this to purple. This could just be 1 unit, or it could be 2 units. This would be bad. So I think this has got to be a 2. Yeah, it's got to be like that. That gets me started there. And then we can just make some solo pieces. Kind of looks like we can just do that. Yeah. Okay, cool, cool. Now to the last 2. The last 2 are just 6s. Let's try this one. Boxy and mismatch. Oh dear lord. Okay, so we know that in here is going to be a 1 by something. And it can go all the way to 6. It can go all the way to 6. Okay, we start with that. This piece can go all the way to 4. What else do we know? What do we know? This is a 1 by something. This can go up to 6. So I can narrow things down. I know I have now, right, a 1 by question, right? I can fill these in, and if I have 3 possible ones, this one goes to 4, these 2 go up to 6. That means if I were to find 3 more spots that have to be 1 by something and 6 is the maximum, I would have all of those 6 taken care of. I would know I couldn't do any more. But I have to find more of those spots. Because this could just be 1 by 1 and we could just end it right there. Looking for some other forced moves. You can also force things by moving pieces out somewhere. Like doing this? No, I don't know what that does. This one definitely has a tricky start. Unless I'm just stupid and it's easier to find than I'm making it out to be. It's like there's definitely room to just do this here, which is really nice. I just don't know if that, you know, it's not wise to just start throwing things in. There's not a lot of space for this. Not a lot of space for that. Let me look at those two. Because like 2 by 1 is going to be counted in here. So we could have 2 by 2s, right? We can have 2 by 3s. We can have 2 by 4s. We can have 2x4 goes there. 2x5 can fit in a number of places. There's no place that can fit a 2x6. Is there? Doesn't look like I can do that anywhere. So actually, yeah, I can go through. So we have, okay, our 1x we're not sure yet. We don't know what the theoretical maximum is for 1x. Is there? Okay, I'm going to make a little table here. 1x1 is possible. 2, 3, 4, at 5 and 6 is possible. This is way overthinking this thing. Can I find a 7 anywhere? I have to find an unbroken set. This is another 6. Unbroken set of 7. And I don't think there is one. No, it's right here. This is a possible thing. It would be very restrictive if I put a 1x7 here, because then I would force this to be a 1x1 and this to be a 1x3 and then this to be another 1 by something. Lots of 1x's. But 7 is possible in one location. And that's it. That looks like the only spot I can do that. These walls are actually placed to really block a lot of moves. So now with our 2x, we can do 2x2, 3, 4, and 5 quite simply. Is there anywhere I can put 2x6? The answer looks to be no. It looks like anywhere I try to place a 2 by something, I stop there, right? And so now 3x. Is there anywhere I can stick 3 by anything? 3x3 is the smallest of 3x's, and that can go here, can also go here. Is there any place I can put 3x4? It looks like the answer is no. So I think that's that, which means we can't have any 4x's. So the maximum amount of shapes we can put in here, 7, 11, 12 different shapes. I have a feeling I'm going to need all of them. So if I did this here and saw we have 65 things, right? 65, this adds up to 1 up to 7 here is 28. 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 is 14. And this adds to 3. We do some addition here, and we're just going to end up with 45. Is that right? That can't be right. 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, hold on a second. I'm adding wrong. I'm just adding these numbers together. This is 28. 2 by 2 is 4. 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10 is 28. And then this is 9. 56 plus 9 is 65. Oh, shit. I do have to use all of them. 65. Right? 62's left. I filled. Yeah, I have to use every shape. So that means I do, in fact, need a 1x7. And this is where it goes. Damn, that's brilliant right there. That's a brilliant break-in, my friends. So I take back everything evil I ever said about you. Because that right there is the move. Because if I don't do this, right, how will I ever get to 65? Because I can't ever have, these are the only pieces I can make. So I have to set this up, which means I can't put a 2x1 here, because then there's a 2x1 there, or there's a 1x1 putting a 2x1 there. So this has to be the 1x1. Actually, I'm going to use teal for all the 1x's. This now has to be at least 2, but it can't be just 2, because then that's 2. So this is 3. Cool. So now I can remove the 1x1, 1x3, and the 1x7. So this is what I got left. So now there's only one place left to put 3x3, and that's here. We can remove the 3x's entirely. We know this now. So these are the pieces we have left. This is a 1x, so it's got to be at least 2. It can be a 4 or a 5, but it can't be a 6. Where can I put a 1x6? This is the only spot that's left. Nah, this is also left. God damn it, there's 2. 2 spots I can put 1x6. Which one would be better? I don't know. I can put 1x5s in a number of places as well as where the 6s go. Let's think about 2x5. Where can I put 2x5? 2x5 is stuck here. This is the only spot I can think of that goes. Which means now this is in fact the only spot for the 6. So let's remove these. I really hope this logic is correct. I like this break-in. I like how this goes. I just hope it's correct, because if it isn't, then I will just feel stupid. So we got okay, we have to have a 1x here, and a 1x here, and a 1x there. So this means, that means we have to have the 5 here. It's the only spot that has it. These two are 4. then we have to have a 4 and a 2. If this is a 2, we have another 2. So this has to be the 4, this has to be the 2. That's all of our 1s, and this puzzle's broken. I can't make this puzzle work. I need a 2x4 somewhere. Where can I put a 2x4? Was there another spot I could put a 2x5? Could I? I could. Ah, shoot. No, hold on. This is 5. This is 5 big. This is 5 deep. Shoot, miscounted that. This is 5 deep. And this is totally fine. Yeah, this is actually it. This is just solves the puzzle. I can just see it with my third eye, because then we just do this. And then we just put all the rest of these in. That's a really clever one. I feel like finding that break-in makes the puzzle much, much easier. It ended up being quite simple, but I feel very smart doing it, which is how you know as a developer you've won. Is that you can say how hard it is all day. And in fact, you probably shouldn't say it at all. But it's a matter of if you can make your solver feel smart for figuring something out, you win. Yeah. I find it's a common sort of trope amongst amateur designers to think that the way to be the best designer possible is to see how much you can stump other people. The answer is actually the opposite. You want to stump as little as possible. All right, boxy mingle shape rose windows. Well, this certainly is a wide open puzzle with no obvious start. I think there's just something to do with these shapes in the corner. We can take... It's got to be boxy. So I think we have to take a straight line. It's got to be either 3 or 4 in a straight line in one of these directions. That's what we got. This also has to be a straight line. This can't be a box because it will be a... So we have straight lines here. And how will I mark that these have to be straight lines? This one has to be a straight line. This has to be a straight line. This has to be a straight line. So all of the, I'm just going to mark them as green. These are all straight lines. They can't touch each other, which means that this has to be only 3. This could be 3, but this can also be 4 across this way. I don't know. This can go, but if it goes this way, it's just 3. Well, let me think. If I went this way, right? Now who's going to touch that space? It would have to be you. It doesn't have to be. It can be boxy like this. It's not straight lines. Dang it. I just thought I couldn't do this sort of thing. But, like, that's how it's going to go. We're going to have, like, a straight line with something like this. I'm not seeing how that helps me. What's the... Hold on. I can click. Oh, I can set up my own set of randomized things. I mean, I guess, if you want to give me those options. Maybe these pieces tell me something. Yeah, if I had this space here, instead of a straight line, if I had it be this type of box, I would force it over here, right? But that means this piece could not be only 2 spaces wide, right? Like if it was 2 spaces wide, well, first of all, it couldn't be this shape. But if it's 2 spaces wide in any way, like it's going to touch multiple things because of how I've set this up. So it would have to be a straight line. It's never going to touch another circle. Unless it's a straight line doing this way, which is what I would have to do. I'd have to do something like this. Could this ever be done? I don't know. I don't know if that does anything. This piece can't be a 2x3 like this. Because then here could just be a 2x2 though. Feels like there's a lot of options here, and I need to find a way to narrow things down. Figuring out which circle goes with which square would be nice, but there's too many options here. Like, these can go together, these can go together, these can go together, these can go together, and these can go together. So I think Oh, I think, there we go. Just drawing this out helps. This helps. Because now I can see these two got to go together. This guy can never reach that one. And this one can never reach that one. So these go together, and those go together. So that means I've got to put walls there. Which means this is a straight line to something. This never goes... Yeah, this is... I wonder what I do with this one. This piece now, if it goes out. Okay, well that's a nice little start. What's it do for me now? Because I can do something like this. It's just this doesn't really cause any problems yet. I mean, this doesn't work, but like this piece by itself is not a problem. It's going to cause problems down the line. There's no way it's this. Because also what I do there. What piece does go here? Yeah, what goes here? In this central area. A lot of pieces can technically reach it. Right? This sort of thing actually causes a bit of... Oh, maybe. Hold on. This is not perfectly symmetrical, though. I can reach this center with this piece, but I can't do it with this one. And I can reach it with this piece, but not with this one. I wonder. Because, I mean, I can easily reach it here. But if I were to take a piece from this edge and bring it down, it's going to cause a lot of things to be forced. This is going to be forced now, which means this piece has to belong here, not here. Actually, before I even get there, what does go here? Can't be this one, because we're going to touch two circles. This piece can touch it only if it touches those. But then, so if I take this, yeah, we would have to do this. We'd have to make 4, which means that this piece now can only be taken by this. It can't be taken by that one. We would have breaking the puzzle here. Actually, we might have another thing. Is just what is this one anyway? Which square touches that? It's only this one. Can I do the same thing down here? Which square is touching here? It's only that one. Which square is this? That one. Which square is that? That one. This has to be that one. This has to be that one. This spot. Maybe this is how you do it? Is there any way that these aren't? Like, if this was a different... If I put a wall here... Yeah, I can put a wall there. This one, however, I can't put a wall here. So these here... I think... No, these ones don't, though. This has to go here. These don't, because I can just do that. So... I can't put a wall here, because then this piece has nothing it can touch. So that's that. Okay, we've got somewhere now. Knowing this, since this has to move over, I can't take the center piece here, because it does... Yeah, it means now that this piece is taken not up here, it'll be here. And we end up with this problem of what goes here. We have a lot of mango shape violations. So that's not taken there. Now if we did it from this side, I think we're going to run into the same issue. Now this piece has to be taken here. This one's here. We have to do this, and we have another mango shape violation. So I think we can work out this piece has to belong to the center. Like so. And then it's got to be those. I think I just magically see it, but I hope not. If I bring... Because I'm looking at this going like, well, what if we just now just block this here? This is going to have quite the ripple effect. We got to take these, I think. And then we have... Oh no, we can't do that. We have to take these. And now, that's what the ripple effect is doing. So I don't think we can do it. This is not super satisfying because it feels like I have to like really see into the future on every move. And I don't know if there's a better way to do this. If there is, I'm not seeing it. And, you know, if you don't see it, you don't see it. And that's really all that there is to it. I don't think I can take this. I mean, I could take it like this. This, I think, causes the same issue we had before. With that. Causes the same problem. So I can't ever do it. I think I can't. I think I just have to do this. Which means I would have to make this move. In this case, if I move this down instead of over to the left, which means this space has to be taken, we would end up with that problem. So is there a way, if I bring this over now, we have to bring this down, we have to bring this over. Now what goes there? Actually, what does? If I bring this piece over, this piece here doesn't have anywhere to go. So it has to be down. And then it also has to take this spot. Actually, is there any way it doesn't? Who can touch this spot? If I put a wall here, who touches this spot ever? None of the squares can reach it. We always have to take that spot. Now, if we were to take the circle below, what if I took... Can't do it that way, but I can do it this way. Well... Oh, these are all like right next to each other. And I couldn't bring that down. Well, is there any world where I take this like so? If I take this here, I have to take these, which means now we have this problem. I think I can. I think I have to take it with that one. But now what goes here? There's nothing goes there. This doesn't make any sense. There's no way, like we have to do this. There's this piece right here can only be touched by this square, which means it would have to take this piece. This has to take that one now. This one has to go here, which means this has to take that, and all of those. This can't be it unless we do it like this. Oh, this works, right? No, this doesn't work. I can't bring this because now nothing goes here. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't get this one. And I don't get it in an unpleasant way. I don't get it in the sense of like, I feel like I'm flailing and I don't feel like I'm enjoying myself in that. It's not the type of flailing like, oh, I'm seeing something and I could try. I have nothing to try. Let me get rid of the notes because maybe the notes are killing me. Oops. But no, they aren't, because if I think of what I can make with this, I can reach this circle, but I can't reach other ones. I can't reach that circle. So it is, in fact, these are required. And this can't reach any other circles but those. This can't reach any other circles but those. This is still true. And then these are the only two circles left. They have to be here. But what do we get from that? Whatever. Once again, I can just say like what is going to go. If I put a wall here, then whatever shape goes here has to touch another square, and it won't. So this has to go. If I put a wall here, then whatever is here has to touch a square, and it can't touch any of these squares because it would touch multiple circles. So it has to be this, right? Because if I say, oh, well, it's touching this one, well, now it's got two circles. If I say, well, it's touching this one, it's also touching two. So it's got to be this piece here, which means I have to take it with this one. And then I'm stuck with this. This piece now can't touch any, but I have to take this. But this is going to lead me back to the problem I had before. I have to take this piece. And now I can't take any of those, which means we have to take that. And then we have to take this one. And then we have to take that. Are we still just blowing it here? This won't work because, yeah, this won't work because of all of that. But if we set this here, we won't work because of that. I can't just stop it here because what's going to come down this way? I can bring this over now, but we have the same issue here with this. Will this change it? No, that causes this problem. This is a problem here. This can't move over because this is not a boxy shape, and nothing can go there. So like, there must be a fundamental misunderstanding to this puzzle. What is it? Like, that's the thing. What is it? Because, like, personally, I believe that a good puzzle, when you're screwing up, you can see where the screw up is and work around it. I literally can't see it. All of these moves feel 100% logical. I do not see the error, and I know once I see the error, I'm just going to feel like I'm stupid. I'm not going to feel like I'm smart for figuring it out. And I think the previous puzzle was really good about like what the break-in was. You can find it and do something here. I just don't think it is. Even if you personally think this is a good puzzle, it's too late for me. I've already experienced a bad time doing this because if I have a logical break-in and it doesn't work, that feels bad. That always feels bad. Is there any other world? Is there any world where I put a wall here? Okay, where does this go? If it touches that square, we've got this problem. If it touches this square, we've got a problem. If it touches that, obviously we can't touch any squares. So we have to do this. If this, oops, we put a wall here, right? This one can't touch that square because boxiness. Can't touch that square, boxiness. And all the others are even more worse than that. So this is still true. So yeah, what goes here? The only square it can reach. It can't reach this one because now it's a box. It can't reach that one because it's going to go through this circle to get there because it's got to be a box. So here we go. Now this piece has to go here. This piece has to go there. This piece has to go there. This is now set just the way it was before. Because this to me, now this feels like this is the logical move. So from here, how do we make the shapes work? Is there any other arrangement that works? This piece now can only be this square. So we have to make this one go here. This piece, this piece can only be part of this set because if we bring this down, it's not a box. If we bring this over, it's not a box. So So we have to do this. This piece right here can't be part of that because it's not a box. Can't be part of this because it's not a box. So now we have this box. These are set. I can't change these. This piece right here has to be part of this box. No getting around it. So if I bring this up, I have to bring this up or we're screwed. Is it this? It's this. I just didn't see it. I just didn't fucking see it. It was so fucking annoying. Alright. I just hated that puzzle. Just absolutely hated it. I can't say it's a bad puzzle objectively. I just had an awful, rotten time doing it. And I'm finding that in this game. I'm just finding sometimes I have an awful, rotten time solving a puzzle. And I'm just like, I have played a lot of puzzle games, and I don't feel this bad playing other puzzle games. What is the fucking problem? Alright. I don't know. At least I got this done, and I feel like shit. I feel like shit having gotten here. I should have done the puzzles in a different order. If I had done this one first and then done the amazing puzzle, wherever it is, the other 6, that was like really smart, then we'd be fine. This was just fucking awful. Alright. Well, that's all. Thanks for watching this fucking awful puzzle, and I'll see you in another video. Have a good one. Bye.